I was embarrassed. And, but again, people go, that's an L for Brendan. It got 50 million views.
Oh, yeah.
If you think that's an L and you're fucking making my Frappuccino at Starbucks, bud, this is an L, buddy. The side airbag came out and gave me a flash knockout. So I didn't know I was concussed. I got out. I've been knocked out by some of the best to ever do it, and nothing messed me up more than that side airbag. And
no shit.
Recently for me, I flipped my TRX, right? I built this TRX, 1,300 horsepower. I flipped it, and I was on the fence about posting it. And people think that was my first time off-roading, whatever, to each their own. They're wrong. It's not. It just happened. It flipped that time, and we were recording, so I decided to post it. And then so many people will put, God, Schaub gets so many L's. Like, there's so many L's. And they'll refer to my UFC career like, oh, this guy takes L's. He wrecks his truck, L's, or some L's. I'm like, oh, guys, you're so off, man. Like, if you think, I guess, me not becoming a world champion in the UFC is an L, but I had a 9-year career as a UFC fighter. If you think that's an L, and you're fucking making my Frappuccino at Starbucks, bud, this is an L, buddy.
That's a big W, dude. That's a fucking W.
It depends how you look at it, right? Like, it's all perspective. It's all perspective. So even with my TRX, when I flipped it, I was off-road. I mean, I've been off-road a bunch. I grew up in Denver. So, I've been out there, Johnson Valley, which is a famous, they have the big off-road stuff out there in Johnson Valley. And we decided to film. I was doing it all day. And so when I flipped that, I remember my first initial reaction, I was so upset because my truck's destroyed. I was glad I was all right because I got kids, and I was really upset at myself because I bring my son to everything I do, because I think it's on, dads today to pass down, car knowledge to their kids. Otherwise, this is going to go extinct.
Yep.
So I bring my son everywhere. You see me, you'll see my son at SEMA. He comes with me. I buy any car, he comes with me. I teach him about cars. He can pick out all the cars out there. I'll drive him. I'll pick him up from school today. When I get done with this, I pick him up. He'll see a Tesla. He'll go, boo. So he loves it, man. He loves the cars, but I bring him everything. So I got emotional because he was supposed to be with me that day. And his mom goes, no, I got something else he has to do. And she just didn't want him to go. She had a weird feeling. So I got really upset myself because he would have been in the back seat. Ooh. That's what I was most upset about. I was upset about wrecking my truck. I was embarrassed. And, but again, people go, that's an L for Brendan. It got 50 million views.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's what I was going to say from a social media standpoint. That's got to be the biggest win possible. Has to be your biggest post,
perspective.
Biggest post ever. Right. Biggest post ever. So 50 million views. Again, that's whatever. Them posted to get 50 million views. I thought it'd do maybe 100,000. It's just me and the flipping a truck. Who gives a shit? People gave a shit. But from that L that people want to talk about, well, Matt Martelli from the Mint 400 reached out to me. Was like, why don't we teach you how to race? So I started working. I became close with BJ Baldwin. So all these off-road companies started reaching out to me. So I started racing. I did the MIP 400. I do short course racing now. I'm doing the California 300. I'm signing a deal with Polaris. So that L turns into that, so I think the young culture, they don't understand that stuff. They don't understand.
It's about the journey.
Well, you got to fucking fail a lot to succeed. You really do.
Right. Well, it just means your feet are moving. That's the biggest part. Keep your fucking feet moving. Yeah. Whichever direction that you're going, and you're, like you said, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to do this kind of stuff, but as long as you're moving.
Yeah. Dude, to be honest, I, for one, enjoyed the footage. I mean, you did a nice job scrambling.
I wouldn't call it a flip. I'd call it a roll.
Yeah, it was like a soft roll. But it looked like, I feel like you applied probably some UFC, some fucking jiu-jitsu maneuvers in there, getting out of that. You were limber.
It was harder than getting knocked out?
The funny thing about that is the side airbag came out and gave me a flash knockout. So I didn't know I was concussed. I got out, and then I was just staring out into the desert. And my producer was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, man." Like, my arm was kind of messed up. I'm like, "I'm fine." And I just kept staring out into the desert. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're concussed." I'm like, "No." And then I've been knocked out by some of the best to ever do it, and nothing messed me up more than that side airbag.
No shit.
Dude, that's what warriors like us do, man. We just roll it off. Like, I mean, I remember being in Louisville, man. I took one like a fucking champ, and it's not a big deal. That was a six roll.
That was a
six revolutions.
That was a concussion on a Lime scooter. Not, I wouldn't, dude, I wouldn't brag about that. That's not.
Yeah. I guarantee we were going 20 to 25 miles an hour, and I had no gear on, and it was helmet. I mean, my head off no helmet, head off the concrete, and got right back up. We went to dinner. You
slowly got back up, and you weren't present at dinner. You were there.
I went to dinner. I don't remember dinner.
You was there, yeah. But I even with the TRX, like I viewed that as like, all right, what are we gonna do next? So then, through insurance, everything, thank God it was covered. Then I was like, all right, wrecked this one, completely totaled it. We got to do better. So then the TRX I'm building now is like what I had before, but on steroids, like completely different animal. Doesn't even look the same, completely different beast. It works out.
You doing all Kibby Tech stuff on there?
Yeah, so it has all the Kibby Tech on there, Magnuson 2650 blowers on there. I had Fiberworks crate. They haven't done it before. I think they're going to offer them after this, but mine was the prototype. It has carbon fiber front and rear fenders, so it's 4 inches wider. We did spacers on the tires, has 38s on there.
Damn.
And then it's actually going to Bailey's in Fort Worth, Texas at the end of it leaves May 26th. So to be there at probably, early June 1st. And then he's rebuilt it. He rebuilt the motor, everything, transmission, everything. So we should be around, 1,250 horsepower once Chris at Bailey's gets done with it.
Damn, that'll be a fun daily.
We're gonna have to bring Brendan along if we do the Legends Road Tour later on in the summer.
Fuck yeah.